Teams in the clear number 5, though, is Michigan. They have really some intriguing players on this team, Dom. Where do you see this team?
I see them either 4th or 5th in this conference. I think there's the 3 at the top that are going to be really good teams this year. They're losing John Teskey and Xavier Simpson. And when you lose your big center and you lose your point guard, you're going to struggle. Now, unfortunately, they do have the best recruiting class in the conference. So they're going to be getting a lot to fill the void of those guys. Now, the question is, will they step up? And they're still returning 3 double-digit scorers from last year. So they still have some production. Like I said, they're going to be a top 5 team in this conference. They have the potential to win it, but they could also finish in 5th.
Yeah, I don't think they have any sort of potential to win this conference. I do think they're a solid team, but I do think they are still well below teams like Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois, to where I don't think they're quite up there. However, that being said, their backcourt is very deep, and that is something that you really have to have nowadays in particular. Just like one of our graduate transfers, Mike Smith from Columbia. Double-digit points last year in every game. Second team All-Ivy League, 22.8 a game. This is a guy that is definitely a prolific scorer. But like you mentioned, the front court is the biggest question. This is a position that is keeping them from being in this top 4 to me. And, you know, they could have protected Michigan State, but I still think that Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois are those clear top 3. And if Michigan had a very solid center, this is a team that we're talking about as a team that is more or less in that conversation as a top 15 team nationally. For right now, I can't quite put them there because of that. And we've seen that you have to really do it all over the court. I mean, and you have a freshman in Hunter Dickinson. That's going to be an interesting spot for him to have to play, being thrusted into that role. And if the center position does get solidified in the non-conference, and if they can surprise in the non-conference, where would you see Michigan as a complete 1 through 5, very strong, talented team?
I have them finishing in 4th in this conference. I think they might be better than Michigan State. It's gonna be fun because it's a nice rivalry in college sports, especially more in basketball as opposed to football. They're gonna be an interesting team because you need a good center in the Big Ten, because you're gonna be going up against guys like Coburn, Garza, and a bunch of other good centers. Now, of course, we had Oturu and Smith leave to the draft, but if you want to be able to beat Illinois and Iowa, who a lot of people think are going to be at the top of this conference, and I do as well, you're going to need good center play, or you're going to hope that that they somehow get in foul trouble early, which we have seen from Coburn a lot. That's his one flaw. But Michigan, they're going to be I agree. They're going to be at the back of this tier 1 teams in the conference.
Yeah, and you can easily put Michigan at tier 1 if you want to. I only put the top 4 because I do think that center is going to hold Michigan back when playing some of these teams that have really good centers and really good power forwards. And that's going to be a big attack point for pretty much all teams in the Big Ten. You know, try to attack down low, because if Michigan can't really get that solidified, I would expect the game plan for Michigan to be a lot of get inside, attack the rim, get your inside points, because a lot of teams in the Big Ten, not just the top 4, will have that advantage down low. And I do think that's an area to where teams can attack. And if Michigan gets that solidified, though, this is a team you need to watch out for. Very, very dangerous.